Welcome. It's this platform aiming to mix social networking, AI, and importantly, responsibility in travel.
Yeah, the idea is to see how they plan to shift travelers, maybe you, from just tourists into, well, active stewards.
So let's set the scene. The problem they see is twofold, right? Travel planning, especially for groups, is often fragmented, kind of a mess.
Totally. And solo travel can feel isolated, but maybe more critically, there's the environmental impact.
Right. Mass tourism, particularly in places like India that the sources highlight, has led to some serious issues. Littering, water problems.
Ecosystem damage, yeah. It's significant.
And the hook, the interesting part, is Khojo trying to use technology to solve both at once.
Exactly. AI for the social side and gamified behavioral science for the responsibility part.
Okay, let's unpack that. The ecosystem itself, it's got a few dimensions.
Yeah, there's the main app, which is social, then bookings, a store, events. But the unique thing is this squad recommendation engine.
That's their big USP, isn't it? The AI-driven social bit for travel. First of its kind, they claim.
It seems like it. So you create a profile name, travel style, you can do a personality quiz.
And then the AI kicks in. They mentioned using graph neural networks, GNNs.
Which, for anyone not deep into AI, are basically tools really good at understanding complex relationships, networks.
So not just, we both like hiking, it's deeper.
Yeah, it's looking at interests, sure, but also availability and this sort of calculated vibe match. The goal is finding you a compatible group automatically.
To get rid of that fragmented planning and maybe the loneliness factor.
Exactly. Pre-vetted groups.
Okay, once you're matched, what happens? There's a dashboard.
Right, the trip planning dashboard. This unlocks for the squad. It's designed for collaboration.
Things like group chat, I assume.
Yep, group chat, an itinerary builder where you can vote on activities, and a budget tracker.
With wallet integration for splitting costs easily.
Yeah, trying to remove all those typical group travel headaches, make planning less of a chore, maybe even fun.
Interesting. So the AI finds the group, the tools help them plan. Is the idea almost like creating a sort of pro-social filter bubble?
Yeah.
Where the system guides you towards positive interaction.
That seems to be the underlying design philosophy, yes. Intentionally curated groups aimed at a good experience, which then ties into the next part.
Which is the Responsible Travel Initiative, the RTI. And this feels urgent, looking at the stats they provided.
It really does. The numbers from India are quite stark, like 80% of popular tourist spots suffering from littering.
Wow, 80%. And the infrastructure impact.
Huge. That development, needed for tourism, is linked to thousands of natural springs drying up in places like Uttarakhand.
And exacerbating water crises in towns like Shimla for the locals.
Right, when tourists flood in seasonally. It's a massive strain.
So people want to do better. 96% say sustainability is important, but there's a gap. They don't know how. How does Khojo's RTI try to fix that?
Okay, this is where the behavioral science comes in heavily. Gamification.
Ah, okay.
First, there's an eco-conduct score for every user.
A permanent reputation thing.
Exactly. Not just trip by trip. It combines how you act environmentally with how you behave in your squad.
And a low score could actually limit you later.
That's the implication. It could affect getting into certain squads or accessing sensitive locations. It's meant to build trust.
Okay, so how do you earn points or improve that score?
Through impact challenges. These are specific tasks localized to your trip.
Like what? Collecting plastic, planting trees.
Things like that, yeah. Collecting bottles, planting saplings, stuff tied to local needs.
But how do they check you actually did it? That's always the issue with these things.
They use what they call a peer validation model. Your own squad mates verify challenge completion.
So you upload proof and they vote?
Basically, yes. Typically need something like 60% approval from the squad. It uses social proof and accountability within the group.
But couldn't that be gamed? I'll approve yours if you approve mine, even if the proof isn't great?
That's definitely the risk, the design challenge. Their counter seems to be tying it all back to that eco-conduct score and social standing.
How so?
The rewards eco-points, special badges like Green Guardian, moving up leaderboards, they rely on that peer approval. But if you're seen as cheating the system, your permanent score drops.
So the social reputation within the Khojo community itself is the enforcement mechanism. Damaging that has long-term consequences for your travel on the platform.
Precisely. The potential social cost is high if you get caught manipulating it. You rely on these peers for future trips.
So when you boil it down, Khojo seems to be taking those powerful psychological tools from social media, the dopamine hits from rewards, the leaderboards, the social validation.
All those feedback loops.
But aiming them deliberately at positive, real-world actions. responsible behavior.
That's the core takeaway from the material, I think. It's an attempt to go beyond just saying you're responsible beyond virtue signaling by linking rewards to actions verified, however imperfectly, by peers and building a lasting reputation around it.
It really does create this intentional pro-social filter bubble we mentioned,
Yeah.
which leaves us with a pretty big question, doesn't it? Can this kind of AI-driven, gamified system actually turn travel from just consumption into something genuinely constructive, something that builds community and has a measurable positive impact?
That's the experiment, really. Can tech transform not just how we plan travel, but why and how we engage with the places we visit?
Something definitely worth thinking about next time you're planning a trip.